Janice Camarena, Camarena.
And Beverly Guenette, Guenette.
What are we doing out here today?
We are protesting for parental rights for my granddaughter who came to the school and trusted a counselor and her teacher with information, and they counseled her in a way that we would not have counseled her, did not get to the bottom issue of what was going on, and did this all without our knowledge.
And she's 10 years old. Well, now she's 11, but she was 10 years old at the time. And I don't understand how a counselor or a school system can do that without informing the parents that they're even counseling a child, number one, and then counseling about something like this. If there's troubles, if a child comes to a counselor with troubles, it seems to me that they should be calling the parent and saying there's a problem. And then the parent and the school, mostly the family, decides how they're going to approach that. I don't think that's the school's prerogative, their job, to make the decision on how to proceed with that kind of issue.
Sure. So, protesting today, what are you guys hoping the school district does?
Well, I hope, number one, that we start legislation that if there's a school law mandate or a dictate that says if you don't use the opposite pronoun, you can get around talking to the parents, I think that should be changed. So that's what I would hope, to bring awareness and sunlight to people in Coeur d'Alene, that is something that maybe schools are allowed to do. I don't know yet. And I'm asking around to find out if that is the law. If it is the law, that needs to be changed. If it's not the law, then somebody needs to answer to the fact that they took it upon themselves to be counseling this child without the parents' knowledge. And this is a 10 and 11-year-old. So we're not talking about a high schooler or somebody in the little ages that have later ages that have their brains fully developed and things like that. We are talking about a 10 or 11-year-olds whose brains are not fully developed. They have no business making life-defining decisions about anything at that age until their brains are developed.
And Janice, you said that your daughter actually took her kids out of the school district,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
She is homeschooling the middle one and the youngest one now that we're in Nexus.
Okay. And you said in your speech over there that you said this isn't an issue about you're not against lesbians or gays or
Absolutely
anything
not.
like that. Can you talk about that?
Yes. There's been a lot of things on Facebook the last couple days, and this family is anti-gay and lesbian, and I just where did that even come from? Never. I have love for everybody. I don't judge. What consenting adults do is up to consenting adults, but this was not a consenting adult. This was my 10-year-old grandchild who is dealing with the death of her father. And as I said, who, all of a sudden wants to join the army and be a man. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out where that's going. And instead of addressing those issues, the school just encouraged them. My granddaughter was at a crossroads in her grief and where she was thinking and what she was doing, and the school encouraged her in one way by calling her by a male's name. And that happened after I told Mrs. Franklin, you are not to have contact with my granddaughter again. Because once I found this out and I called the school and talked to Mrs. Franklin, I told her, why didn't you give her any other advice? I mean, I'm not a counselor, but it seems to me the first thing I would have said was, hey, you're 10 years old, go play on the soccer field. Why? Let's get to the bottom of this issue. Let's not make life-changing decisions right now at 10 years old. But none of that was offered. The only thing was offered was, we support you in this, and calling her by a male's name.
All right,